It is Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This guy is one of our favorite guests, Horst Schultze, former president and COO of the Ritz-Carlton. He's an author and a speaker. We talked to him the last time about his book, Excellent Wins, and we really wanted to get with you, Horst, to find out, hey, how are you doing, you and your family, during this COVID-19 pandemic? Talk about spiritual things, about the church, how we're going to move forward, and economically. So first of all, how are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're at home together. And I was thinking about it as a husband, being with my wife. The first time I used to travel 200 to 250 days a year, mind you. And now the first time I'm for 5 weeks at home with a nonstop. And I think about it as a husband. What a chance to honor your wife. Mm-hmm. What a chance to look, to read differently and think and contemplate and pray. It's a wonderful chance to do things that we haven't intensely enough done combined.
Horst Schultze, our guest, you're watching him on Zoom, listening to him on the radio. Go ahead, Dan.
Now, you said you used to travel 200 days out of the year. Have you ever had a time in your life where things have stopped like this? I mean, to me, in my 50 years, I've not seen anything like this. How about you, Horst?
No way. No. We were heavily infected during the SARS and during the swine flu and the bird flu and in Southeast Asia, because at the same time you had the fires there of Borneo, mm-hmm. which put the whole area into smoke. So our hotels in that area were empty, and they're empty now.
Right.
And of course, they're not my hotels anymore, but they were empty. So we experienced a partial shutdown, if you will, of business, but not a shutdown of the human activity overall.
Mm-hmm. Author, speaker Horst Schultze here on Zoom and on the radio. Let's talk a little bit about the spiritual aspects, the components of this thing. We have, as you can see, we are socially isolated like you. We're able to do our jobs because of technology. And the church doing the same thing. No longer can the church meet in one particular place temporarily. How do you feel like that we're doing as far as the church is concerned?
I think it's doing great. We are watching streaming. I'm a member of the Church of the Apostles. We are watching streaming live, but you're at home. But if you will, Martin Luther said it's not about the church. Maybe you're better off at home in a closet, as long as you have a relationship with Christ. So it's not about the building of the church, which was built in honor of Christ, of course, and we want to honor that. But it is to lift the message, on, and maybe this is more time to find community and relationship with Christ.
We're talking with Horst Schultze, former COO of, of Ritz-Carlton hotels, and now Horst, being a former executive and seeing the way this is affecting businesses the way it is, and especially in the tourism industry. I mean, you look at hotels are completely shut down. Places like Disney World are shut down. Are businesses going to survive this? And what are your thoughts?
No, many businesses will not. And that, of course, is the real issue of coming out here, which nobody expresses yet thoroughly. You have to understand, for instance, I run many hotels. I run hotels for owners. Many of my hotels that I used to manage were fully leveraged. With other words, they cost $100 million, and $100 million were borrowed money. Mm-hmm. Now, what happens after this? The business will not start all of a sudden again. How they're going to take their bills? Right. How they're going to pay off those loans? So there may be, and in my opinion, there may be a financial crisis that follows. Mm-hmm. Because many businesses will not pay their bills that they have come here. Many businesses will bankrupt. The bank will take over hotels and do what with it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say, they definitely probably won't have the customer service level. I know you're big on customer service and treating the customer right.
Sure.
Obviously they can't do that right now, but if somebody else has to take over the business, then what happens? Do they care about the customers the way the hotels originally did?
Well, they don't only care, they don't know the systems and the processes. The bank can't do it. The bank will have to sell them, get rid of them, and they have to get rid of them, and consequently they will get rid of them cheap. That means they have to write up huge loans.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I mean. A potential financial crisis can follow here. Now, I think the president handled everything great so far, but don't forget, we will come close to $30 trillion of debt after that.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty traumatic that people have to think about. And if people whine that he wants to get out of that, start over again fast, you must be kidding me. That means you don't know what's going on in the world.
Right. Yeah.
Horst Schultze, so we're talking to him, author and speaker. The last time we talked to you, Horst, we talked about excellent wins. Is there going to be a book out of this for you, you think? I think you've got some wisdom.
Well, I probably will I'm thinking of writing a case study of excellent wins. I've worked with that are extremely successful, having adopted the criteria of excellent wins. And so together with those CEOs, we're thinking of writing a case study, but that will, of course, be timely and would put the time of this situation into the equation. And consequently, yes, I will address this. For example, I see talking with many CEOs right now. There is a reaction of urgency only. That cannot be. You see, the vision of the company should not go away. The values of the company should not go away. The vision is the same. The destination of being the most excellent in what you're doing shouldn't go away just because you have a setback. And very fast, I worked as in a ship many years ago, of Europe and New York, back and forth. And one trip we came out of Cobb Island and we hit a terrible storm. Our destination was New York. We were 2 days late getting in there, but we got there because the destination didn't change because we ran into a problem.
Right. So, Horst, how do businesses continue to show that customer service, that excellence, even though, like you said, the destination is the same, the way you're having to do it may change. How do you keep showing that, even though things are different? Like, for instance, for stores, they're not able as much to be right in contact with their customers. How do they keep showing them that?
Yeah, well, you as the CEO, you have to first of all make sure that your business survives. That's the priority. Otherwise,
Right.
Nobody has anything. Number two, how do I keep my customers? How can I serve them now? How can I find new ones because of the situation? Give it thought. I don't know how in your business, I know in my business, give it thought. And how do I make sure I don't lose them? How do I make sure they're still mine when I reopen? That is done with communications and so on. Now, it takes creativity. But ladies and gentlemen, that's why leadership is there, to find solutions, not only talk about the problem that exists.
Horst Schultze here, former president and COO of the Ritz-Carlton, author and speaker. I've got one more question, then we have to go to a break. Horst, I'm sure your phone is ringing off the hook. What are people asking you, whether it's spiritual questions, economic questions? What are they asking, and what are you saying?
It's amazing, the gamut. And what's it? Now, for instance, where is God? It's amazing that people ask the question when he is questioning where we are. I mean,
I love that.
I mean, you know, it's just absolutely amazing. I happen to believe, because, you know, we discussed that at one time, my cancer 25 years ago. I was told I have a year to live. I mean, in my opinion, he was knocking on my door to pay attention for a change. And he locked. He had done that before. This time he locked very, very loud. And believe you me, I listened. And just maybe he's knocking on our door.
Yeah.
Just maybe it's not our door. You get all kind of comments. Of course, I get a lot of conversation with people where I advise or consult with anyway. And we had some very, very good friends to search, and you find solution. If you want to, you find solution to your situation. It doesn't answer everything, but it moves you forward. And that's why I say, look at it 3 ways. Look at it, what do I do to survive? How do I keep my customers? How do I keep my customer for the future? How does it matter? How do I find new ones because of the situation? And how do I keep at least the top 10 of my employees, the best? How do I at least keep them? And just maybe you have to make the terribly tough decision to let the bottom 30 go, 30%. Now, is that terrible? No, because if you lose your organization, nobody has anything.
That's true.
It is so good. Horst Schultze, you can go to horstschultze.com to find out more about him. Horst, we would love to give you a call in a couple of weeks, check up on you, and get your input on where we are at that point. We may still be at home, but it's all good. We're glad you're healthy. Blessings to you and your amazing wife and family. Hey, we'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
Yes.
God bless you.
Faith Talk Live.